You guys need help looking for something?
No.
No? Can I help you look for something, sir? No? Okay. Can I help you? Okay, you're welcome. We should learn from our previous mistakes, and this applies to tourism as well. The city behind me is Prague, visited by many, and we observe them, and we observe also the mistakes they make. So if you plan to visit here, you can watch this video and not make the mistakes that the previous tourists did. Not understanding the map. Now, you probably understand that this is a map, but what I mean by not understanding, I'm talking about the scale of the map. If you look at any city, you will usually see the entire city, but cities are different in size, and there's also different maps to the city. Now, the map you will most likely come across with Prague is this one. Let's refer to it as the touristic map because it only shows the city center. Now, if you look at it from a perspective, well, this is showing the entire city, you may think that walk across this entire map would take an entire day. But no, walk across this entire map would maybe take an hour. Now, where's the mistake there also? Well, you will see something at the edge of the map and you will think, well, that's too far. I'm simply not gonna go there. But in this case, if you're in the middle of this map and there's a cool thing that is on the edge, in this case, that would be the Vyšehrad Castle, for example, it's a 15-minute walk. So it would be a mistake to skip it simply because you thought it was too far. We did the opposite mistake with Honza when we were recently in Paris. We were staying on the outskirts and I looked at the map and I thought, well, let's walk to the center. It doesn't look that far. Yeah, it was a long, long walk. It was like 40 minutes on the metro, man. Tak kolik kiláků to je?
Dobře, tak 7,5.
7,5 kiláků? And if you think understanding a map is only tourists' problems, no, we just came across some Czechs, our viewers, and I asked them, how far do you think is to the edge of the map? Their guess was 7 kilometers. It's 2.5. Not knowing or having an idea what the stuff should cost. Now, we're in a country where there's different currency. You may have an idea of what a bottle of water costs in your country, but suddenly the number is different on the price tag. And the first store you may come across may be a tourist trap with ridiculous prices. And that's the case in Prague a lot. Sometimes the stores are next to each other and facing each other, meaning two different stores with completely different prices. Touristy one behind me, non-touristy right there behind Honza. And I'm not talking difference of 5–10%, which is a normal difference between different stores. I'm talking double or 4 times the price difference. We use a site called Numbeo with Honza whenever we travel to a country where you can look up what a meal should cost, how much a bottle of water should cost, how much a kilometer in taxi should cost, and so on. So again, it's good to have an idea what the prices roughly are. Like, you're a foreigner. Would you know if $8.40 for a 6-pack of water is too much or too little? Well, if a local would see that price, they would not believe it. I've tried it with many locals. They just didn't believe that. They thought it was a joke. In this case, in a normal supermarket, the price would be 10 or maybe even 20 times lower. Taking taxis or Ubers in the city center. Now, when you open any of those ride-sharing apps and you put in a destination where you want to go, you may be surprised that quite often they're really cheap. For example, we're on the Wenceslas Square, and to get to the Old Town Square, the app will tell me, oh, it's only going to cost €8. Well, that's a bargain, right? But if you have the local knowledge, which I do, and I would be more than happy to share it with you, you will find out that taking the ride will take approximately 15 to 20 minutes depending on traffic. But you can walk. It's right there. And the walk is around 7 minutes and it's free. Now you may say and think nobody would do such a ride. Yes, I see it almost daily, and when you talk to the drivers, they will tell you that tourists quite often take rides under a kilometer, under a mile, simply because they don't know that walking is faster. The city center is full of one-ways and dead ends and so on, so the car will always have to go around. You walking can always go straight the shortest way. Only sticking to global chain restaurants. Now, I understand that going to Starbucks meets maybe your standard, or McDonald's, and you know what to expect and you know what you will get. But you most likely have that place in your neighborhood, so why would you travel? Why would you fly across the ocean and visit the place that you have in your backyard when you can go to places like these? We're right now on the main square in Prague. This is a lovely coffee place attached to a bookshop, and most kids, believe it or not, sit in front of Starbucks. And this place is empty. Cool, huh? And I absolutely love to sit here and enjoy the view. So discover local places. They also quite often are much cheaper than the chains. Looking for the best exchange office. Now, yes, I understand it. You came to our country. You learned that we have a different currency. Therefore, you need to exchange your currency to ours at a good rate. So you may come across different exchange offices. Now, they all have the 0% commission sign, but believe me, the two behind me, there's a difference of 40%. So you come to this hell where you should look for the best place? No, there is a life hack to walk around this trouble. And that is simple. To pay with your card. Yes, it's as easy as that. People tend to think they have to exchange the money. They have to have cash. No, me and Honza live in the city our whole lives. We can easily survive just with our cards and never touching the currency. Thinking they can outsmart the money cash problem by using an ATM. Well, you don't no idea what you're up for. Many ATMs use a trick called DCC, when the ATM will ask you, if you're in a country where there's different currency, if you want to accept or decline the conversion of the machine. Most people, from what we know, click the lovely accept button, and in that case, they can lose up to 15% of the amount they're withdrawing. And in case of some machines, the machine will force them or push them into withdrawing larger amounts. Therefore, the percentage taken from their account as a fee will be higher. The reason I'm addressing this is because under every single video we make regarding money, cash, paying with card, people always say, I just used ATM. I'm the smartest person in the universe. I can never get scammed or tricked. Yeah, wrong. They're afraid to use the public transport. Now, I can understand where this may be coming from. I have used public transport in different cities. I may be the only person who have ever used the bus from the city center of New Orleans to the airport, which was the worst 3-hour ride I've ever experienced. But in Prague, Czech Republic, it is the opposite. We have the best, the cleanest, the fastest, the most reliable public transport you can think of. So if you're comparing it to your home city, don't do that, unless your home city is Luxembourg. The only time you should be afraid of the Prague public transport is when you're crossing the street and tram is coming your way. It's a big metal train on the road, so please do not get in its way. It always has the right of the way. And if you worry about ticketing and how to buy a ticket, how to validate it, and so on, no need to worry at all. Any tram in the city of Prague will have a machine in the middle that you simply tap your card or your phone onto it, and there's your ticket. When it rains, they hide. They shouldn't hide. They should instantly run to this creme de la creme ice cream place because suddenly there's no line and you can enjoy the best ice cream in Prague. They all queue up to have the same identical picture. Yep, the situation you see behind me are tourists that have seen something on TikTok and now they want the same photo. This one of these beautiful books. Now, I thought that the idea behind different social networks is I want to be different, I want to stand out from the crowd. Well, this is the exact opposite. But Prague has a lot to offer. If you want cool pictures on your Instagram, maybe you can visit this, this, and this. And you can visit all that in an hour, which sometimes is the waiting time right here in the library. The choice is yours. To me, waiting here is a mistake. Not accepting help from a stranger. I just tried it for myself. I walked around the square, I saw people looking into a map, so I offered help. Can I help you look for something? No. No? Do you guys need help? No? Can I help you look for something, sir? No? Okay, you're welcome. But why? I mean, I'm a local guide. I'm from here. I'm probably the only Czech, and I legit wanted to help you. Well, most likely they were expecting that somebody will trick them or scam them or offer them something to buy. So in this case, I'm not really blaming the tourists, but us. Because most of the people that will approach you on the square will really try to sell you something. So I'm gonna blame them for doing that. We sort of lost the normal approach where you just wanna help someone because you just wanna help him, not that you wanna sell him something. So in this case, I understand you will refuse a help from a stranger, but I don't think you should be afraid to ask for it. For example, where should I eat? See a local, most likely he or she will be walking fast. Ask them for a tip. They will most likely give you one. One of the things how to outsmart and avoid running into troubles while traveling is to have a card. And Visa happens to be the partner of this episode. Me and Honza, whenever we travel, we always pay with either a card, physical one, or in our phone, or in our watch. It is safe, it is reliable, and it is widely accepted in Prague. When people ask me, like, can I pay with card in Prague? I'm like, I cannot think of a place where you couldn't. It doesn't matter how little your payment is. If it's a ticket for the tram, if it's a bottle of water, or if it's a fancy dinner, you can always pay with your card. Carrying cash around is old school. The only times me and Honza get cash is usually to show it in a video to you, like, this is something you don't need because you got this. So come prepared and outsmart the mistakes tourists made before you so you don't have to be the one doing it again. Thank you, Visa, for partnering with us, and I'll see you guys next week on another episode from this lovely city that I call home, Honest Guide. Bye-bye. And in the end, I'm going to teach you how to say outsmart in Czech. It would be přechytračit. Přechytračit would be to outsmart something.